From mysterious underwater stones to an aquatic graveyard, today on ApexTV we take a look at the top 5 strangest things found in lakes. Number 5. Lake Michigan Stonehenge. The strange discovery was made by archaeologists of Northwestern Michigan College as they found stone formations similar to the Stonehenge deep down in Lake Michigan. The Stonehenge is a prehistoric monument of standing stones based in England. The stone formations were also said to have carvings of animals that resembled elephants but went extinct long ago. Experts say that it may not be as strange for the stone formations to be present within the waters of Lake Michigan, as such formations are common in the area. However, what may be absurd is the presence of ancient carvings along with cars and piles of skeletons next to the stone formations in Lake Michigan. Archaeologists are continuing to examine the site to come to a conclusion as to how a prehistoric surprise came about in the underwater. The Lake Michigan Stonehenge may not have been one of the most mysterious things to be found underwater, but it definitely makes this list. One can only wonder what other breathtaking structures might be present underwater which the human eye has not seen yet. Number 4. Graveyard and tombstones. It would give one goosebumps and chills to know that Lake Buchanan in Texas contained an underwater graveyard with tombstones dating back to the 1800s. The state of Texas has had an interesting experience with finding things within lakes, and such discoveries have attracted the media and historians. In 1936, Lake Buchanan was filled and led to the submerging of the town Bluffton under almost 30 feet of water. Many years later, the state was faced with a drought, due to which the lake's water depleted and allowed for the underwater tombstones to rise to the surface. Along with the tombstones, there were buildings and foundations that were revealed. All sorts of experts have used the drought as a blessing in disguise to make discoveries related to their work. As horrific and terrifying as it sounds, it is true that those who lived in Texas during the 19th century made their way back up only a century later through Lake Buchanan. Number 3. Well-preserved skeletons. Hidden from the world for a long period of time, dark secrets were found in the depths of the Himalayan mountains. At an altitude of over 5,000 meters in India, there exists a lake called Rupkund in the Himalayan mountains. For most of the year, the lake remains frozen, but for a short while, the snow melts and allows the visitors to peek through the waters. It was during one such phase in 1942 that people came across a large quantity of skeletons in the water. The presence of a high number of skeletons within this lake has given it an alternate name, which is Skeleton Lake. These skeletons are rumored to be over 1,000 years old. They are spread throughout the bottom of the lake, staring at the skies and giving hikers a horrifying view. Following the discovery of the skeletons, the public began to make up stories revolving around World War II and British expeditions in order to explain the presence of these bones. It took scientists and researchers years to find out the mystery behind such a phenomenon. It was only in 2004 that a conclusion was made which stated that these skeletons dated back to 850 AD. Their preservation was explained through the constant freezing and melting cycles of the water. Rupkund continues to be a popular site for trekkers to visit, and the skeletons have definitely added historical value to the destination. Skeletons themselves are a strange thing to find in a lake, and on top of that, a well-preserved skeleton is where it gets extremely strange. Number 2. An undetonated bomb. In 1988, an undetonated World War II bomb was found in the waters of Lake Washington in Seattle. The bomb weighed 100 pounds and had sunken in about 30 feet within the lake. It is still an unanswered mystery as to how an undetonated bomb ended up in the waters of Lake Washington. Some suggestions have been that warplanes from nearby airfields might have dumped the bomb in the water, though from a military and professional standpoint, this is not a sensible argument to make. The presence of a live bomb may very well be a security threat, and questions continue to arise as to how it may have ended up there. An undetonated bomb is not the most amusing of sights for a diver. Along with strange and unusual, it is also dangerous for such an item to be submerged in the water without anyone's knowledge. As odd as it seems, this has occurred, which is what allows it to make this list of strangest things found in lakes. Number 1. An enormous crucifix. Once again, Lake Michigan continues to surprise us with what may lie within its waters. An enormous 11-foot statue of the cross with Jesus on it was found in the depths of Lake Michigan. This certainly makes it to the list of strangest things found in lakes, as it makes no sense for such a cross to end up at the bottom of a lake. It is said that in 1956, a family of a boy who passed away in an accident had requested for the production of this piece. The statue was made of Italian marble and was shipped from Italy to the United States. Unfortunately, the statue was damaged during shipping and the family never owned it. The sculpture was then submerged into Lake Michigan by divers who used it as a tourist attraction. It is said that the statue is visible to tourists if they cross the surface of the water on a boat. Regardless of whether the presence of this statue was planned, it still served as a strange thing to be found in a lake.